had 3 children between them, all of whom were said to be boys. From the look of things, it seems Mr. Victor was frequently away from home, probably for work reasons. As such, the news came as a huge surprise to him, and it didn't make any sense for his wife to become pregnant while he was away. This made Mr. Victor question the paternity of the unborn child, thereby accusing his wife of engaging in extramarital affairs. This accusation created a rift between the couple, and they lost the harmony that used to exist in their matrimonial home. Mr. Victor took his suspicion very seriously, so seriously that he reported the matter to his family as well as his in-laws. Mr. Victor insisted that he was not the father of the child his wife was currently pregnant with. The two families involved tried their best to resolve the issue, but there was really nothing much they could do at their end to convince Mr. Victor that there was no way his wife of 18 years would impose another man's pregnancy on him. The family then came to the conclusion that after Mrs. Enobong had given birth to the child, they would conduct a DNA test to confirm who the true father of the child was. This may have seemed like a perfect solution to the situation at hand, but unknown to them, their suggestion of a DNA test had awoken some darkness in Mrs. Enobong, and this darkness would kickstart a chain of events that would not only leave the entire family in a state of shock, but would also leave them with long-lasting pains. Some days after this meeting, Mr. Victor's dead body was found inside his private car along Sapele Road, Benin, and had been burnt beyond recognition. This horrific discovery was made on the 29th of November 2013. The police were informed and they headed to the scene to carry out their preliminary investigations. The officers noticed that the deceased man had been stabbed in the chest before the fire. They were also able to establish the identity of the deceased to be Mr. Victor Isongoyo. The police took Mrs. Enobong into custody as they began their investigation into uncovering the circumstances surrounding the tragic death of her husband. During their investigation, the police found out that Mrs. Enobong had filed a missing persons report on behalf of her husband just a day before he was found inside his burnt car. They also discovered that she had allegedly gone to her husband's office to inform them that her husband was missing. Mrs. Enobong was said to have also gone to the bank to withdraw the sum of 4 million naira from their joint bank account. The police also discovered that Mr. Victor's official car was missing. They traced the missing car to a compound where they discovered that the original vehicle registration plate number had been taken off and then replaced with a fake one. They would also later establish that the name on the official car documents had been changed to an entirely different one. The police arrested a tenant in the compound for questioning. Upon interrogation, the tenant informed them that the discovered car was parked by a fellow tenant who was a pastor. The police then tracked and arrested Pastor Udoka Ukachukwu for questioning. At the station, Pastor Udoka told the police that the said car was given to him by one of his daughters in church as a seed. The detectives then ordered him to take them to the said daughter. To their greatest surprise, the church daughter in question was Mrs. Enobong Isonguyu. Before the police began their investigations, Mrs. Enobong was said to have denied any involvement in her husband's death. However, after the pastor was arrested, she would go on to disclose details that would earn her a death sentence. Mrs. Enobong began to explain to the police how the car ended up in the pastor's possession. She told the police that when she noticed her husband was missing, she took her husband's new car to the pastor to sow as a seed in his church so that her husband would be found. She claimed she told the pastor to take the car to the church and that she didn't know he went on to change the plate numbers as well as the name on the car documents. Mrs. Enobong claimed she had asked the pastor to pray harder because she loved her husband and didn't want anything bad to happen to him. I guess at this point, the family had told the police about her pregnancy and how the late husband had denied being responsible for it. When the police asked Mrs. Enobong if she was having an extramarital affair with the pastor, she said, "God forbid," and denied ever having an affair with Pastor Udoka. She went on to shed light on their relationship. According to her, Pastor Udoka was a close and trusted family friend. She claimed they would give him clothes to go and share in the orphanage. She also said they trusted him so much that they would give him their ATM card so that he could withdraw the necessary funds needed to take care of their poultry whenever she travels with her husband. Mrs. Enobong also denied having any quarrel with her late husband. She claimed that she only got to find out about her husband's death at the police station. Udoka Akachukwu was a pastor at the Land of Evidence Church, which was located along Airport Road, Benin City. In his confession, Udoka told the police that he had been the family pastor for years and that sometimes he would assist the couple in picking up their children from school. Udoka told the police that Mrs. Enobong called him on that fateful day and said to him that she wanted to give him a car to sow a seed in his church. He claimed that when Mrs. Enobong brought the car, he asked her why she would bring it to him in the middle of the crisis, and that she replied her husband was worth more than any material thing. He also told the detectives that he changed the plate numbers because any gift given to pastors had to be changed in that manner so that he could drive it. The police noticed that Pastor Udoka had burns on his hand. When asked how he sustained the injuries, Udoka claimed that hot water spilled on him while trying to make tea. The police were not convinced by their confessions, so they decided to investigate further. They made a breakthrough, and Pastor Udoka finally confessed to killing Mr. Victor Isonguyo. It turned out that after Mr. Victor accused his wife of infidelity and also made the decision to conduct a DNA test after the birth of the child, Mrs. Enobong, out of fear of being found out, decided to make sure that the truth never came to light. It was reported that she told Pastor Udoka to wait at the road her husband usually passes through to work, and that when he sees him, he should ask for a ride. The plan played out, and on that fateful day in November 2013, Pastor Udoka stood along Sapele Road in Benin. When he sighted Mr. Victor coming, he waved and asked him for a ride, which he granted. However, along the way, Udoka was said to have brought out a sharp object which he used to hit Mr. Victor on the neck. He then opened the car's fuel tank and sipped out some petrol, which he used to set the vehicle on fire, burning the engineer beyond recognition. Udoka confessed to the police that the injuries he sustained on his hands were not due to tea, as he had earlier stated. Rather, he got burnt while setting the car ablaze. The police arrested the mechanic who assisted him in changing the plate numbers on the deceased's car. They also arrested a business center operator who assisted in forging the car documents. All 4 suspects were arraigned before the Edo State High Court. Mrs. Enobong gave birth to a 4th child while in prison in Benin. A DNA test was conducted as earlier planned, and the results came back to prove that Pastor Udoka was indeed the real father of the child. In May 2019, Mrs. Enobong and Pastor Udoka were sentenced to death by hanging. The 2 other accomplices were sentenced to 2 years imprisonment with an option of a fine. Mrs. Enobong, who was not satisfied with the verdict, proceeded to the Court of Appeal to have her verdict and sentence reversed. However, in March 2020, the court dismissed her appeal and upheld the judgment given by the High Court. Still unsatisfied by this outcome, Mrs. Enobong proceeded to the Supreme Court, where she was acquitted of all charges and then set free in May 2022.
She was convicted at the High Court. We will raise the issue that this woman is innocent. They can't refuse for this to us. And Speaker said, no way, she's innocent. That she's not responsible for the death of her husband. That judgment is a seminar. Can you use the confession of a co-accused to convict another person? No!
Today, she's standing here with us as a free woman. We are very happy, we are very excited.
I bless God for this day, for this is the day that the Lord has made, and I will ever live to praise Him. I went in there as nobody, but I'm standing here as an ambassador of Christ.
In another twist of events, Pastor Udoka was said to have escaped from prison during the NSAS protest that took place in 2020. At the time this video was made, there was no report that he was ever rearrested. This was a very tragic case. Let me know what you think.